Yo, Kip, it's Guy here. Hey, so I want to talk to you guys about music streaming. I know a lot of people who have home theaters also use their theaters for music, or a lot of you are traditional and use two-channel stereo systems to play your music back, or maybe you have both in different spaces. But let's just agree that most people listen to music on their systems, whatever kind of system that you have, me included. I love to turn my big old home theater system into a two-channel system with a click of a button, just change a profile. And how I like to listen to music is just my front speakers. And depending on my mood, I may or may not have the subs on. My speakers are capable without having subs. And then sometimes I like a little extra low end if I'm feeling a certain mood, and I'll turn the subs on. The way that I listen to music, as far as the source, I have a Fire TV Cube hooked up to my home theater, and I use Tidal as my music source, my app or my streaming service. And on the Fire TV Cube, you can play Dolby Atmos music through Tidal. There's a Tidal app that you can download, so it's nice and convenient to use my Fire TV Cube plugged via HDMI to my AV processor and listen to music directly connected. You can do the same thing with auxiliary cables, maybe a headphone jack or a headphone to RCAs, whatever combination. We call that a wired connection. Whenever you are tethered from your source to what you're using to outpost that music, that's a wired connection. So that's usually the best connection that you can have. A lot of people use Bluetooth, and it's been around since, I don't know, 2012, 2013. They just started putting it in cars standard in 2013. So maybe a little bit before that, early 2000s, Bluetooth was made. And over time, Bluetooth has gotten a lot better, gotten bigger in range. It sends more information across that connection, so you get a little bit better sound. aptX, I think 5.2 now. We're up there in Bluetooth quality to where you can get some pretty good sound out of a Bluetooth connection. And I will emphasize pretty good because it's not the best, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about in this video. So when you get into your car, you probably connect your phone via Bluetooth, and you listen to your phone either through regular Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, or Android Auto. That's the main three. If you have a newer car in the last 4 or 5 years, you're probably using either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay to play your music. But what you didn't know, what you may not have known about Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, is that your Bluetooth, when you connect it to Bluetooth, that's strictly primarily used to make phone calls, to answer things, to make a phone call, answer a text back, just kind of regular phone communication. But when it comes to music, you may or may not have realized that Android Auto and Apple CarPlay emit its own Wi-Fi signal to connect to your radio and your phone to play your music. Wi-Fi is a great source to play back your music versus Bluetooth. And this applies to my home theater people, my two-channel music listeners too. If you're an audiophile, you may already know this, and you may poo-poo on Bluetooth altogether, and you may use like Apple AirPlay, or you stream through a like Roon Ready device, something like that. So you may already know this, but if you didn't know, Bluetooth only gives you so good of quality. So if you're somebody who likes to listen to Apple lossless, or if you have Tidal and you want to listen to the max audio quality, then you're going to need either a tethered connection, meaning wired, or you're going to need to use Wi-Fi streaming. Wi-Fi allows you to do a couple different things. One, Bluetooth is kind of limited in range, 30, 40, 50 feet at maybe most in some cases. So if you leave the room that you're listening to music in, and you take your device with you, say your phone for example, well, that connection may be broken up, a little bit choppy, or disconnect altogether. I have a friend whose Bluetooth is so bad on his Denon receiver that he literally has to keep the phone on top of the receiver for it to keep a connection. Otherwise, it becomes very choppy. But Wi-Fi allows you to use your home network to connect to your devices, something like Denon HEOS. or I can connect through Google Home on my Anthem AVM70, or if you have an Apple device, then you have Apple AirPlay. This allows you to use your already existing Wi-Fi connection to send that information instead of Bluetooth. And what this allows you to do is to get a much better sound quality, because Wi-Fi, not only is it the whole home, so you can move from one room to another, but it's a faster transfer of speeds, of bandwidth. So, and it's a larger amount of bandwidth so that you can send and receive more information faster, cleaner. If you ever watch the video on Bluetooth, maybe in your car, or if you're sitting at home and you're Bluetoothing something and you watch a video, did you ever notice that there's a lag behind it? So when you watch somebody talk, just behind it, the audio is a little bit late. That's because that's the time it takes for Bluetooth to send that signal to your audio, to whatever you're playing that video from. So you on screen, you see their mouths move, but the audio comes maybe a second later. And that's a significant delay in Bluetooth. Wi-Fi, you don't have that problem because the speeds are so much faster. A hard connection, a wired connection like HDMI or an auxiliary cord is also, if not the best, it's right up there as a connection that you should make. So if you are somebody who listens to music quite often, I highly recommend to either download Denon or Playfi, or get a room ready device, get a streamer like a WIM streamer, music streamer, get Google Home, something like that that you can transfer your signal through Wi-Fi instead of Bluetooth, because you'll find yourself getting a better sound quality. When you turn the volume up, it may sound better, less compressed, maybe more bass through the subs, things like that. Me, I spent a lot of money on my home theater, more than I want to admit, but I want to also get the best out of it since I spent all that money. And to know that I'm using Bluetooth and not getting the best out of my speakers is kind of a disservice to myself. So I like to stream my music all the time, because it sounds a lot better, it's a lot cleaner, and it's infinite range. I can literally go anywhere in my house, or even step outside of my home a little bit into the yard and know that my connection will stay strong because my Wi-Fi covers my whole home plus a little bit on the outside. So if you're somebody who listens to music quite often, I highly recommend you look into a music streamer that allows you to connect via Wi-Fi to it, and then it's plug to your AVM70 or your preprocessor or your AV receiver, whatever you're using, and you're getting the best music. This way you can play lossless music, you can play Atmos music, and it sounds like it's supposed to. You can't do surround sound with Bluetooth. It's only stereo, if I remember correctly, but Wi-Fi allows you to get a much broader signal. So with that being said, I want to know down below, what app or music streaming service are you using to stream your music? And how are you playing that app? Are you using Wi-Fi? Are you using Bluetooth? Or are you hard connected with some kind of cable? Let me know that down below in the comment section. Hit that like button, subscribe if you are not already, and we'll see you in the next video. Kid Bass Guy out. Peace.